Coming to paperback and e-readers, ISIS Legacy. The sorority secrets from the goddess next door are revealed in this all-new ISIS series adventure. Pre-order your copy of ISIS Legacy on Amazon.com today. On Friday, we witnessed one of the greatest travesties of justice since the conviction of Bill Cosby. Now, in a Minneapolis court, Judge Regina Chu handed down a 2-year sentence on convicted Officer Kim Potter for the death of Daunte Wright. Now, your Kim Potter had shot and killed Daunte Wright after a traffic stop where she allegedly mistook her service weapon for her taser. And your Kim Potter was one of these officers who had over 20 years of experience and had trained other officers. So basically, there was no excuse for her mistaking a firearm for a taser, since both weapons have different weights and different colors and different shapes and different feels on the hand. And this was something that Kim Potter had trained other officers to know the difference in her over 20 years on the force. And based on those facts, a jury convicted Kim Potter for the manslaughter of Daunte Wright and recommended that she receive a sentence that fit within the sentencing guidelines. But your Judge Regina Chu decided not to follow the sentencing guidelines and instead decided to give convicted Officer Kim Potter a 2-year sentence. Now, what's really troubling about this 2-year sentence is that your Kim Potter is only going to do 16 months in prison, and she's going to get 8 months of supervised release. And if there's a possibility of time served, she may be leaving prison even before that, and that means that this white female will basically be getting no time at all. Now, what's really troubling about this whole sentence by Judge Regina Chu is that it was not based on rule of law, because she decided not to follow the sentencing guidelines, and I believe that she decided not to follow the sentencing guidelines because she decided to create a covert contract between herself and white supremacy. Now, your Regina Chu is an Asian judge, and she was presiding over the case of a white woman. And there are some people in the Asian community who deify and worship white people, and that possibly could be the case here with your Judge Regina Chu. And the reason why I say that this could possibly be a case is because of the emotional statements that your Judge Regina Chu made as she was handing down her sentence, such as asking people to empathize with your Kim Potter. And I believe that she wanted us not to empathize with Kim Potter because she was a police officer. I believe that she wanted to empathize with Kim Potter because she was a white woman. And I believe that your Judge Regina Chu basically was out here getting emotional about having to punish a white woman because some people in the Asian community, again, they worship white people, and to go out here and punish a white woman is the same thing as going out here and handing down a punishment on God. So for them, it's like, oh, if I punish this white person, I'm doing something really bad. And again, that is this judge showing her bias regarding this case, and this really is a case for an appeal, as if ever I saw one, because this Asian woman, again, by saying she empathized with this woman who had been convicted, I believe she basically violated rule of law with this sentence and clearly showed bias by her ruling, because again, any objective judge is going to go by the facts of the case, not their feelings. And I believe that this judge went by her feelings based on race, and that clearly showed in this light sentence for this extremely egregious crime. Because again, a 20-year veteran on the force, again, knows the difference between her taser and her service weapon, And I believe that there was clear malice of forethought as related to Kim Potter's actions. And the reason why I believe that is because when your Daunte Wright, a young black man, decided to defy the authority of this white female, that's when this white female got angry, and then she decided to go out here and take Daunte Wright's life. And then after she took Daunte Wright's life, that's when she put on the crocodile tears. And your Kim Potter, I believe, went out here and ran a game on everyone. The same game white women have been running ever since the days of Jim Crow, where your white females would go out here and take the life of a black man based on their allegations of some sort of violence, and they would go out here and send out these beta males, white males out here to lynch a black man, and then they would go out here and watch as this man lost his life, and then they would go in due to their histrionics and their extra salty tears. And that's what I believe happened here with your Kim Potter. And Daunte Wright's own mother, a white woman, said the same thing, that your Kim Potter was putting on those crocodile tears. And if anybody knows about crocodile tears that white women put on, it's another white woman. And what this white woman did that got her that travesty of a sentence was she played the white female card in the gynocentric criminal justice system, and she made it herself look like she was sweet and innocent. And because this spellbound Asian judge got caught up in her emotions about trying to protect the so-called innocent white woman, that's why we didn't get the justice that needed to be served, and your Kim Potter got away with taking the life of Daunte Wright. And as Mr. Superboy posted as in her mugshots, this woman was smiling, and the reason why she was smiling was because she thought she had put one over on all of these people, because she knew that as a white female, she was at the top of the white supremacist food chain, and because she was at the top of the white supremacist food chain, she could get a pass for any sort of irresponsible, reckless, and egregious behavior, because those who support the white supremacist system elevate the white woman to the highest social position in society, and because the white woman is elevated to the highest social position in society, that's why she can get a pass for everything and is believed to do absolutely no wrong. And that's what happened here, I believe, in this travesty of justice, where this Asian judge didn't go out here and punish this rogue white female police officer, and she didn't punish this rogue white female police officer because she wanted to gain favor with white supremacy, and she wanted to get those brownie points with white supremacy. And again, it just shows how dysfunctional many in the criminal justice system are, and why it's just hard for black people to get justice, because the criminal justice system is run by a group of minorities who are jockeying for a spot where they can get favor and approval from these white supremacists, and they're looking to gain a position in white supremacy. And again, this is why black people have to watch who we deal with and watch who is there, because these bootlicks come in all colors, bootlicks come in all races, and again, when I listen to her statements, again, they come from an emotional point where she's looking to gain brownie points with white supremacy, because the going outside of the sentencing, guidelines to give this woman a special favor as to 2 years in prison really shows how this was not about justice. This was about trying to get brownie points and trying to gain the favor of a white supremacist and trying to gain the approval of a white supremacist. So that's what's happened here. And again, that shows how there is no real difference between what happened in the dark days of Jim Crow, and what's sad here is that Daunte Wright, this killer, is going to be roaming free And what's even worse is that she's got an arrogant viewpoint, the same that Betty Shelby has, thinking that, oh, I got away with killing that black person, and all this rulings sentencing does is send a statement as related to the interpretation of the law that a black man's life does not matter. And what's really sad is for all the turning up people did after the murder of George Floyd, it's showing us that the criminal justice system is going back to business as usual. And what's really even more disturbing about this whole case is that this is not a case that's going on in the dark Jim Crow South. No, this is a case that happened in the leftist, so-called more tolerant North. And it seems like in all of these blue states, we're seeing a pattern as related to injustice, and black people need to start noticing what's going on. Every case that's happened here, whether it be the conviction of Bill Cosby or the murders of boys like the young man just a few months ago, or the murder of Daunte Wright, it's seeming like there's a pattern as related to these cases, and it's seeming like there's a pattern here that's showing me that we are in the middle of a Jim Crow North. Now, I can say that because I'm looking at the patterns here as related to Bill Cosby, George Floyd, Amir Locke, and Daunte Wright, and I'm seeing how all of these cases connect, and again, all in blue states, and we're seeing the same type of egregious patterns of injustice that we saw in the Jim Crow South that racists were known to participate in. And if we look at that, at all of those cases, there's a certain political party that is tied to those types of travesties, and we're seeing that go on. But instead of there being a clear group of white racists, what we have is a group of bootlicks of color, and the bootlicks of color are now doing the dirty work of white supremacy, like handing down these egregious sentences to give white thugs with badges passes for going out here and taking the lives of black people and devaluing the lives of black people. But when I look at this whole thing, yes, your Kim Potter might be smiling because she got over on this spellbound Judge Regina Chu, who worships her like a god, but there's a Most High God who looks down at your Kim Potter, and justice is in his hands, and I believe that the justice that he was going to mete out on your Kim Potter will lead to her on a road to hell, because the evil that she's done, she's going to reap what she sows, later than she sows, greater than she sows, and she may not come out of this smiling when the Most High God is through with her. Now, if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. And if you want to pick up some of my positive black fiction on the SJS Direct imprint, you can find all of those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them on Smashwords, the iBook Store, and Google Play. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess. The goddess next door takes on the threat of a deadly digital diva driven to destroy the world in this action-packed, all-new Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Revenge of the Cyber Goddess featuring a bonus pin-up and the other 2 books in the Cyber Goddess saga at online bookstores everywhere today.